Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's Teaching Learning Parenting Show again, and this afternoon we're going to be looking at bullying. Bullying in schools today, who is to be blamed, and what is the way forward. I'm Monica, and I'm your host. Okay, good afternoon. We have Mr. IK. Hello, Mr. IK, good afternoon. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. So, last week we said we're going to still dig deep into this bullying, but not letting go. Because some people still don't believe that bullying exists, or some people never believed that bullying existed until this whole Sylvester's case, you know. And the reason I don't know why people don't believe that bullying exists, maybe because they never had an experience of being bullied, or their children have never been bullied, and so they're looking at this issue that happened as something totally different. But at times bullying can get worse. Because there are different forms of bullying, but we're not even going to divest into the sort of bullying today. So we're basically looking at bullying in schools. Now it's a reality today, like we said last week, it's the reality. It's things that happen, I'm sure they happen in the time of our parents, but they were so mild. And they happen in our own time when we too were in school, but it wasn't really this bad, and everyone kept shying away from it or trying to maneuver their way, and all that. And these days now, it's staring us all in our faces, and we are seeing the disadvantage of not trying to work on these beliefs or not trying to speak up when one is bullied and you just try and push them. So we're looking at the bullying reality. Who is to be blamed? Really? Who do you think is to be blamed for bullying or for raising bullies or for being a bully? Who do you think is to be blamed?
Hello.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so
Okay.
yes. So I said, who do you think is to be blamed?
Okay. So the first point I feel is really the first point I feel the first person to be blamed is the family. The way the child is brought up.
Okay,
So this is a personal opinion though.
all
Yeah.
right.
So I feel with the family, the way the child is brought up. Because the way the child is brought up takes the whole lot about how the child, about the actions the child is playing in society, even in school. I know the child spends most of his or her time in school.
Okay,
And
yes.
the every point in time, when the child gets to primary school, I think at the kindergarten level, the child can still stay in school. But when the child gets to primary school, the child can stay in school, secondary school, child stays level, the rest of
These days, primary school they stay till 3:30. Do you know? These days, the primary school they now stay till 3:30. I just found out that because they say they have after yes they have lessons after school. So from primary one have lessons till 3:30. From primary one to primary five.
Okay.
Yes, these days.
Okay. So you see that the lessons the child has learned at home, those lessons the child learns at home. So now we're looking at the blame is coming from the home, which is the family.
Okay,
After the family, we are looking at the society.
okay,
Yeah, so we're looking at the family now, we're looking at the mother and the father. We're
okay.
looking at the parents, maybe the husband or husband.
Yeah.
Because these are the first points. If the mother and the father, if they are, if they, if they are in harmony and they're still in don't, I don't feel the child would bully another child in school. Instead, that child would be from prompted to report any issue that comes up.
Yes.
So whatever happens in the home reflects on the child in school.
Yes.
Because the child spends more time in school, the child doesn't want to react the way he sees them react at home.
Yes.
So I think the family is the first point. After
Okay.
the family, we go to the society. people live their control. You look at the society, how things are being, how things turn out.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry to say, but our Nigerian society are not really the whole of very little issue we are already playing games. We are not ready to accept those games instead we want to throw the games to someone else and say it is your
Beautiful.
fault.
Yes.
Instead of us to take part of that responsibility and change the whole narrative.
We
Because
keep looking for someone to
if
point
we
active
take part
fingers at.
yeah, if you take part of the responsibility, you find out that when you take part of it, I take part of it, you want to be a better person, not just blaming another person.
Okay.
So when you become better people, automatically you do a better society following us.
Beautiful. Yes.
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 So
Yes. You see.
it's also, we can also look at the society, we can also look at the family, we can also look at your role models, the people, the children look up to.
You're taking me
Yes,
back
we
to
can
the
also look
day
at,
I taught role model in school. This thing you said is so true. Role model, and
yes,
the person this girl called her role model, in my mind, I didn't want her to feel bad, so I didn't want to say anything. But I just tried to explain to her who a role model is and when choosing your role model, what you should look out for. But in my mind, I said, oh, no wonder this girl acts like this, you know.
yes,
So
yes.
that's just
So when it comes, most students can be very, they can be very, they can want to make you to be very
and you know at
But
times
when
they
it
don't
comes
pick
to
their parents to
discipline,
be their role models, you know.
yeah,
Some kids, their children, their parents are really nice and upright, but maybe because of peer pressure, I don't know, they feel like their parents are just too upright or their parents don't like to loosen up. Maybe it's the authoritative or authoritarian parenting that isn't working for the child. I don't
yeah,
know, but because at times kids like
yeah,
too much freedom, and then when they don't get that kind of freedom they want, they tend to see you as you're not the type of person they want. Then that person who makes them have
yeah,
this excessive freedom become their role model at times, and which
yeah,
could be detrimental
yeah.
to them. Yes,
So,
very true.
so even in school, even in school, teach our children, you will need some habits. They sing their songs, they dress the way they dress, they do they go. You don't see them doing everything the artists do because those artists are their role models. You just want to be an example or a photocopy of what that artist do.
Wow.
And tomorrow when you see that artist bully another person in an outside place, it can happen. You are not want to do this kind of thing.
Okay.
So you see an artist bully a fellow person and tomorrow the students will do the same thing. You now look at it, you now see the effect that that role model has on the child.
Child.
You see how strong that effect is. Yes. You see how strong that effect is. Then another factor we are looking at that couple is also peer pressure. Also peer pressure. Yes, I want to be among those people that show up. I
Mm.
want to be among those people that are the best in school.
Mm.
I want to be among the happy people. You don't just want to be normal anymore. You want to be happy. You want to join the happy people. The knowing people.
Unknown to them that this
So
happening person might actually not be doing the right thing to be the happening person actually. What he or she sees as
yeah,
a happening person might not be the right thing, you know.
yeah, they are not really do the right thing. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true. That's very true.
So
That's
now we
very
say
true.
we're putting the blame on a whole lot of people. We're not just because you know why
Yes,
I
yes.
begin to
So,
delve into this now. You know, last week, one of our callers last week brought in the case of Darwin. To be honest, I didn't want to talk about the case of Darwin, but the case of Darwin was one of the
okay.
reasons I delved into bullying, and I said, let's even look into this bullying thing that we all have been running away from. And then this scholar came
Yeah,
and talked and then cited an example, like he said, like the case of Darwin and all that. And then a
yeah,
lot of people are pointing at using fingers. Now, some people said something and they blamed the mother of the boy who was involved. They blamed not just the mother of the boy who was involved, they blamed the mothers of the ones. They didn't only blame the mother of the victim, that's the boy who died. They blamed the mother of the ones who they said oppressed this boy that died, you know, and all
okay.
that. And afterwards, they dropped them. Some went ahead and then they blamed the teachers, and then some went ahead and then they blamed the school administrators, you know. And then some said, okay, we're talking about the school administrators. What if the school administrators actually put things in place, but of course they are answerable to the school owners. So they also blamed the school owners. So that was why I came together to them and I said, so now, so who is to be blamed? Are we to blame the parents? Are we to blame the teachers? Are we to blame the school administrators or the school owner? Or are we to blame the leaders themselves? But like what you said now, everyone has a role to play there. So it means that
Yeah.
as a parent, the first school that the child is enrolled into is the home once the child is being born, like you rightly told us then in parenting that I won't forget. And so, for example, it may not even be that the father and the mother are not in harmony. At times the parents might even be in harmony and they don't even have issues quarreling. It might be the uncles or the aunties that live in the house that actually bully these children. That actually bully these children. Do you know? So when this uncle or this auntie is bullying the child does not have any other person to vent the anger on. Then the child goes back to the school and vents the anger on whoever he or she feels is not as strong, in quotes, like what they see as not as strong, or someone they think they can vent their anger on. And so, just like you've asked me to carry water, Abby, and I can't carry it, I cannot ask you to carry back. Don't worry, I'll wait for your younger one to do that. I feel that that's also the case of these children in school. When they are in the junior class, they feel as if the senior ones are always asking them to do one thing or the other, and then they start making their own strategies. Yes, I can't wait to become a senior. Then they become those senior students, and they also want to retaliate. They want to do back what people have done back to them. Now I look at teachers too. At times, that parents don't also make it easy for these teachers at times. When a teacher comes to meet you and says, shut up, you don't talk when I'm talking. Go and learn state management. Go and this, go and that. And she's saying all those things. Maybe something has happened between your learner, that's your student, and the teacher. And then the student had to tell the parent. Like I had a case of a child who was misbehaving in class, and it was about time for examination. And it was the final revision we're having, and I'm like, okay, today I don't want anybody to talk. I want to focus because the plan was that they should all read from home and then come with every question they have. So people were asking questions that were so reasonable, and I was so happy. And this girl just came out from nowhere and started making noise. And so I asked her to stop making noise, and she didn't listen. So I asked her to stand up. So when I asked her to stand, I think that made someone behind her start to laugh at her. I don't know what would have happened, and maybe she felt quite embarrassed. So her beat to get back to me was to just start acting nasty. So while she started acting nasty like that, thank God the class was almost over because I didn't want to send anyone out of the class. It was an English class. So I just told her, okay, you know what you're going to do for me now? When class is over, you're going to bring the book of this class for me to know. So that got her upset and she was quiet. She didn't even talk again till I left the class. And then I got home. I barely got in, just entered into my house and my phone rang. It was her mom. And when the phone rang, I'm like, okay, I didn't even have a mom from my phone call, trying to see who she was. So when she had me, I said, oh, thank God you are even this person's mom. And I'm like, I didn't even have a number else and I called you to report for that to me. And then the woman said, am I not ashamed of myself? Am I not ashamed of myself? That they've given children to me to handle, to take care of. Am I trying to tell her that I don't even have um, the she said professionalism or what to take care of, to handle the kids they've handed over to me? Am I not a teacher? That she thinks I lack classroom management. She's never been in my classroom. That I thinking I lack classroom management, and what else can she even think about now? Because from what her daughter told her. So I'm like, wow, okay, interesting. What a okay, man. Can I please speak with your daughter, or can you just bring her here and let the phone be on speaker so she repeats to you what she said earlier so that I can also hear? And then the girl said that. So when the girl was through saying that, I laughed. I said that wasn't all that really happened, and that wasn't even how it happened. Number one, I wouldn't even call the child out because I didn't name shame children and I didn't even make anyone call the child a name. So why would I? See what the child did. I just wanted her attention. Was why I asked her to stand because she kept making noise, she kept disturbing. Probably she wasn't prepared and she didn't have questions to ask. So that I don't look at her and ask her, she just let to start making noise. didn't even want to send her out of the class because she needed to be there to listen. But I asked her to stand, and when she went overboard, I said she was going to clean the class. She said, yes, why would I even ask her to clean the class? Why would I look for something else to tell her to do? You know? So while okay, so I was trying to explain myself to the woman, I was saying in a very calm because I was really tired, the traffic was terrible that day. The woman just told me to shut up, that I don't talk when she's talking. And then she talked and 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 said, no wonder Amanda was like that in class. She is, and then she calls the call. I called again and then I called. I didn't even know what made me call. And then I called because I didn't like how we ended. That was my first time of really formally speaking with her. And then I called again and said, oh, madam, I think there is a misunderstanding somewhere. That I called back so that you will also hear my own version of what happened. Since you have listened to your daughter's version, so you listen to my version now and then, you know. And she said there's nothing she needs to listen to again. That if this girl just in social class, I can't handle her. And she doesn't know how I would handle other people. And I'm like, what? I just said, what? Then she cut the call again. At that point, I just told myself, if you call back, you're going to say something very silly. So don't just call back. So that day I was just at home in the room. I was feeling, I was upset, you know. And after getting upset with myself, I told myself these are part of the things they throw at teachers, you know. And then I told myself, no wonder that child is like that. I just kept saying, no wonder. A child who even her mother before her will not make her see that she's wrong. You know when a child does something bad and the parent come back and tell you are the reason this person is doing that thing bad, or the parent come back and tell you the child is a baby now, you should know how to manage the child. Maybe a child spits on the teacher or a child pulls on the body, a child of like 5 or 6, 7 years, and you say, oh, you should be checking the child's body. There's the way the child moves and the way the child wants to do. There's the way the child will move and the way the child wants to do. And I'm like a child of 6, 7, oh no. You know, so when you see such parents, you say, okay, there is a problem somewhere. And I think that's where every parent needs to start looking into their way of parenting their children, to be honest, including myself. So, and then leaving that area again, you then look at neglect parenting area. Now we're looking at teacher too. Now, at times, favoritism. We know these parents are not saying the thing that is right, or we know that these kids are not doing saying or doing the things that they should do. Then what do? We give them a thumbs up, all because we want to buy their friendship. We want them to become our friends, especially now if you happen to be working in a school where you have the high and mighties there. So you sweep everything back under the carpet and let it go. Let's keep God's life. Don't worry, Johnny. There is a good girl there. As she grows up, she will become more mature. She will know how to act better. You know, so in that, I was taught that a teacher is meant to be very friendly, loving, caring, firm. Hmm? At the same time, firm. Now, a child who you correct in love, but you don't sweep this under the carpet, the child knows. It's just like saying you spank a child with your right hand and pull back again and pat on the back with your left hand and say, I love you, but I hate what you did. It was why I had to do this to you, my darling. You know, I realized over my 11 years of teaching that in the end, this child will later come to love you because you were not calling B, C. You were not rubbing bad and making it seem like it's good because of favoritism or whatever. You know, somehow.
But that's one of the problems we teachers face.
Yes, yes.
When you correct children, by the time you realize the correction is given to you, over 4 5 years, over time when you now say, I can't go for my teacher, I can't go for my teacher.
Yes.
You don't realize at that instant.
Yes.
That's why most times you see the teachers who work in the center because the students will not realize at that instant. The students will just feel this teacher knows me, this teacher is being
It's me.
this teacher wants. Yes. And I think that happens to me sometimes when I was in secondary school.
Okay.
At a point, I think that was the 2 days, I didn't like classes, I don't really like classes.
Okay.
So the teacher now put interest in me, and I thought that teacher was teaching them. The teacher made sure I stayed with the class. And at the end of the day, stayed out. But I didn't get to realize that that teacher was actually doing that out of fear. Until I graduated from secondary school and I got to university. And I was like, this teacher really love me, for the teacher to single me out and correct me and tell me to stay in that class.
When you weren't
You
the
don't
only
think that was
child.
love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at that point in time, I thought this teacher doesn't look like me. Teacher doesn't want me to be free.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
Very
what a lot
true.
of children will feel when we
Yes.
try to correct them.
Correct them.
They feel teacher just wrong, this teacher doesn't like me. Everybody,
The
people
world is
don't know
against
that they
them.
are just me. They don't know the power of love.
Yes. But also, that's why also when we see these children who have these tendencies, like you said last week, of being bullies, in as much as we want to point it out that they are bullies, in as much as we want to correct them, let's try and do it with so much love. At times we know that that doesn't work out because some children don't even have love from home. So we're going to do a whole lot of work to
Yes.
start helping them with that. But
Yes.
let's not do it to the extent whereby they will become hateful, resentful too,
Yes.
because somehow they will not even listen to you, they will not even buy whatever it is you're telling them. Now they've not helped them from the house, you've not helped them from the school. You understand? So let's try and balance it up, and let's not be such teachers who will see things that are wrong and not say it. Because a child once told me, that was my first year in teaching, when I said I'm going to punish you, she said, how many times have you told me you will punish me? You never do. Like I never punish. I said my years of teaching, experience every year. Like now I'm no longer taking secondary school, I'm now taking primary school, and I'm like, well, I've learned a lot from secondary, I'm learning from primary now. Experience every time. Do you know that even the primary school child says the same thing? So when you say you have done this thing that is bad and this is the consequences, the child is waiting for you to pull through what you call the consequence of that. Maybe I say now I'm supposed to give you a star, or I'm supposed to make you star of the week, or you're supposed to arrange the books in the library for doing this. And then afterwards I let the child go. And every time I say this is what you do as a result of this naughty thing you did, I don't do to it. I don't see through that the child you know executes that punishment, carries it out, or if it's that the child is going to skip lunch or something, I don't see through that. I follow up and ensure that the child steps the punishment. The child looks at me as a teacher who doesn't mean her words. And so that's why the child will keep yes. So when I finally find a bully and I say you, I will report you, they will just look at me and smile. you know, and in the end I will not report, maybe. So that was my first year, and after that, my 1 year of teaching, my very first year of teaching, I'm like, okay. So that was when I started learning that not even when you say I will ask you to do that, and I don't ask you to do that, am I being a good teacher? So that was when I started writing my rules and my regulations and the things I want as a teacher, the kind of students I want, and how I'm going to work hard towards having such students. And looking at that, we looked at parents, we looked at teachers. Now we're looking at school administrators. School administrators also know. I know that it's not good to manage the school, but they should also know that at times these teachers have a lot on their hands and cannot handle all. Like I was looking into this whole story of boarding school, and I said, do you also realize that even being a parent, there are times when your kids will fold clothes and put in their bags, and they will go out from school to do something. You're not going to put a bell or a chip on them to monitor everything they do. At times, kids can be very smart. So even when we're looking at it, they didn't monitor them to this, they didn't monitor them to that. So let them also know that at night, if these kids know that, for example, the house master is going to walk around 10 times, and by 1 a.m. that will be too deep. So the house master would have not slept by 1 a.m. So they will sleep. I think that when forward looking at that, their school administration or management should look into that and say, okay, maybe we should have people who run shifts. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that when it's time, this housemaster who has been up since morning can go to bed, and the one for the night shift can take over. Do you understand me? Just like what security guards do. Because we have kids who would not sleep. I have friends who they are in school, they will tell you they are nocturnal. I actually, at times when I'm up at night trying to organize some classes, you see them chatting me up, and I'm like, are you not sleeping? They say it is even when they are more alert. And only God knows what they do while they are. So if you have kids, yes, if you have kids like that in the body, so thinking they have worked all through morning, they can only go to bed from 9 to 11, and by 11 they are up again. Maybe some children will not want to be dozing in the class in the morning. But those activities that they will carry out at night, they will carry out. So schools should also start looking at how, yes, school administration should start looking at how to bridge that gap, cover up for what happens at night. I've seen girls go out and attend parties and come in late before it's 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. whenever it is they ask them to wake up, and then they pretentiously stretch like they are just waking. Meanwhile, they've gone to the party. I can't beat this needs to wait. So let's look at that also. Now, school owners, when they now tell you this, also provide solution, act on it. You know, it's not you, because at times they told you, you say, okay, I've heard you. There are some things I cannot handle if I'm not the owner of the school. I have my, you understand me. So that's why I was saying who is to blame. Everybody has a fair share of the blame, and everyone should be responsible, like what you said. It's bad enough that you do something bad and you have failed to hold on to the responsibility of what you've done. And do not point at any fingers to judge one person, because everyone has a fair share of the blame as far as I'm concerned. Yes, yes. So we're looking at way forward. Sorry, dear, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, you wanted to say something. I'm listening. I'm so sorry. I got in.
Yeah, I also feel that ways that can be prevented. One of the ways is that parents to be more involved. Parents or adults to be more involved. Now, when I'm looking at ways to prevent it now, I try to school to be more involved than the right other.
Yes.
I think parents should also be more involved to anything concerning their children.
Parents should be more involved in everything concerning their children. Yes.
Parents or adults should be more
Adults should be
involved.
more involved. You see, I like as you said, parents or adults. Beautiful. Parents or adults.
Yeah.
So that parents don't say that at times we teachers keep saying parents. Should they not go and make this money? The woman said something in the video yesterday. All you parents are too busy making money, making money, making money. Very soon you make all the money and these children will no longer be there to spend the money. They would have got the extinction. And I laughed. Now I am sitting on the fence for that statement, because almost one part of me wants to say what she said is true. Another part of me also wants to say what she said is not true. That's why I said I'm sitting on the fence. Now the part of me trying to say that what she said is true is really parents should get involved. There is no excuse. Then another part of me trying to say, oh, it's 50-50 is now parents be involved. One, two. Times you know you will not be involved. Put things in place. Put things in place. Some parents have people that they can really rely on. Some parents have people that are their trusted persons. You know, so you can put, now I know that I will not be there physically, but I have put this person there. Also, make sure you checkmate who you put. Make sure you get feedback, because the country now is very beautiful, and I will not blame parents who, like someone said, why would they say that what is a woman, why is a woman working? Well, you're calling yourself a working class mom, who is a failure. You know, don't say that a working class mommy is a failure because the child had fallen short or had made a mistake. Let's not say that, because it's quite harsh. You don't know why this woman has decided to start working so hard like this. So let's also look at that angle. But what we're saying is, yes, we're working class mommy, but let's try and look at what to do, because in the end, the woman whose baby got overdosed and the baby died, she eventually left work. She was in the hospital all through that day. She didn't go to work again. She cried and wished she could bring her baby back. She got back to work and she was resenting her employers. You know, so the truth is this: learn to manage things, put things in place as much as you can. We can never be 100% perfect in trying to fix our children in every area, but let's try and do the best we can. And then let's listen. Let's listen. Now that would be a lot of sacrifice on our own part too. Let's listen. Some kids will not talk to aunties, only their mom. Some kids will not talk to their dad, only their mom. Some kids will not talk to their mom, only their dad. Whoever it is, this child is so free and can say anything to. Yes, I'm listening.
And when we listen, also recognize the weakness or the smallest fault.
Yes.
We should also recognize the no matter how bullying doesn't just start from the major world. It starts from the small world. You can see if you grow up child with like my dog or and say, take your food. And when the senior things like that, maybe you did bigger than want to do exam.
Yes.
Nothing is going to happen to me, no matter what. Yes, it's like, why are you on my please stand up?
Beautiful.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes, we should recognize bullying. No matter how we should also teach children to recognize bullying. We should also create awareness. As much as we recognize bullying, we should create
Create
awareness for children.
awareness.
Even
Yes.
for the school administration, for the teachers administration, for everybody, there should be enough awareness.
Yes. So this is what now.
Yes.
Everyone should now start creating awareness now that bullying is real and do not see it as someone took my book and refuse to give it back to me as just a joke. That is bullying in disguise.
Yes.
Yes, let's create awareness. Beautiful. Create awareness. So that's a very big one. Now I want to ask a question because while also I've been trying to update myself on this Sylvester Romani's case, and I read something yesterday and it's saying the boy consented to being beaten, accepted to drink engine oil, and I'm wondering, could it be true? What's the possibility? Is it possible that this boy in question wasn't bullied, or was bullied and then accepted so that he won't get bullied again? I just want to know. I don't understand. I didn't hear what you said.
I think for my own view, I think I'm still read that to you. I don't want to draw any conclusion yet.
Yes, okay.
But from my own view, I feel the boy was going through bullying, was being bullied in school, and he was always speaking out. The parents were involved.
Or was bullied and then accepted so that he won't get bullied again. I just want to know. I don't understand. I didn't hear what you said.
I think for my own view, I think I also read that to you, but I don't want to draw any conclusion yet.
Yes, okay.
But from my own view, I feel the boy was going through bullying, was being bullied in school, and he was always speaking out. The parents were involved.
Okay, I feel that he already started from the time of COVID for me, because by the time we came back from COVID-19 lockdown and all that, and we were doing hybrid learning, and some kids started having classes online. Some refused to practically come back to school, but that was when I started hearing some cases of cyberbullying. And you just get among themselves, and when you're coming, they'll just say it in the low key, they don't want you to know about it. And very soon, things we're hearing in the low key, you start hearing. So I'm looking at it like some children now, because they've been exposed to the digital world, some are being bullied online now, and we yet do not know about this. Yes. So you see, exactly. So you see, this thing starts little by little until it becomes boom. Yes. So that's why I really bought when you said create awareness. Now let's go and start creating awareness in schools about bullying. I remember one time in my place of work, what they did was they packed all the bullies and they made them the ones in charge of the anti-bullying club. Those that were recognized as bullies, they made them in charge of the anti-bullying club. So they said placing different quotes, how to recognize the bully and all that. So I was like, why would they put these girls to be the ones in charge? And I said, they are the ones that are bullying now. Give the fish to the rat now. Let's see how the fish will get missing again. What were you saying? I wasn't getting you. Let's walk now. Okay, thank you very much, IK. That was a very wonderful chat with you today. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And from what I have learned today, when we're talking of bullying, we're not only blaming the teachers because they are the ones who are taking care of the children in the school. The teachers have a fair share of the blame while the kids are in school. The parents have a fair share of the blame. The school administratives, the school owners, and the children themselves, that the students or the pupils also have a fair share. So it means that everyone has to come together to work hand in hand to ensure that our kids are being protected from being bullied and to sure that we raise our kids well so that they don't turn out to become the bullies that we're kicking against. So at the same time, we're also going to teach them how to act when they're being faced with bullies, because we never can rule the fact that they will meet bullies anytime at all in their life, even after they left school. So we're saying that we should go now and start to create awareness so that let these kids know that there are people who are actually bullies, and these are ways to react in the face of bullies. Thank you so very much, I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Okay, we have come to the end of Teaching Learning Parenting show, but we're having our kids corner today, and we're going to have a guest who is going to talk about bullying from the kids corner. So I'll take a bow now and let the host come in. Thank you.